Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cortensia Carty. TVC is now live on TelTV Network in St. Martin, and Good Morning SKN will air there today for the first time. So tell your friends and families and everyone you know to tune in to TVC on TelTV Network. GMSKN is on. We now proceed to the latest in local news. This from SKNIS. The Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas continues to forge strong partnership on the sidelines of the 44th regular meeting of heads of government of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. On Thursday, the 16th February 2023, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Right Honorable Dr. Denzel Douglas, held bilateral talks with the Ambassador of Japan, His Excellency Marashuba Yukata. The engagement covered a wide range of issues, including expanding cooperation to tackle current challenges to food security, fisheries, and sustainable marine life and tourism. Both sides also expressed their commitment to continue to support each other in the international arena. Foreign Minister Douglas used the opportunity to congratulate Japan on its successful bid to host Expo 2025 in Osaka, confirmed St. Kitts and Nevis' participation, and wished Japan well as it continues to prepare for this highly anticipated international exhibition.
And in other news, this from Wind Media SKN, Mrs. Sonia Bobby Thompson, St. Kitts and Nevis interim representative to the OAS, said the Federation remains committed to the implementation of the Inter-American Commission of Women's Strategic Plan for 2022 to 2026, with a view to creating the desired transformative impact for the betterment of our women in St. Kitts and Nevis and throughout the Americas. With technical assistance from the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis launched its National Gender Equality Policy and Action Plan 2022 to 2027, geared towards achieving gender justice. The government remains resolute in fulfilling Sustainable Development Goals 5 and 10, which address gender equality and reducing inequality, respectively. Body mentioned, quote, "The delegation of St. Kitts and Nevis is further pleased to share that the Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Terence Drew, in his 2023 budget address, emphasized his government's commitment to empowering women and youth by increasing their participation in leadership and decision-making at the highest levels of governance and nation-building," unquote.
We continue now on this from SKNIS. Established on the 1st of October 1983, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the ECCB, is celebrating its 40th anniversary year under the theme Stable, Transformative, Accountable Resilience, which kicked off with a launch at the Sir Cecil Jacob Auditorium at the ECCB headquarters in Birdrock, Bastille, on January 19, 2023. The bank unveiled its 40th anniversary celebrations with an impressive calendar of events at a media briefing for the ECCU media workers at the bank's headquarters on February 15th. That reflected the colorful economy of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Speaking at the media briefing to unveil the calendar of events, the governor of the ECCB, Mr. Timothy Antoine, said, unquote, "Today we are very pleased to be able to have this opportunity to share with you our calendar of events for the special milestone of our 40th anniversary. We want to do things, we want to put you in the loop, bring you in, and give you that exclusive look, and we also want to solicit your support for the events throughout the year, given the significance of this milestone, not just for the ECCB, but for all the citizens and residents of our currency union," end quote.
All right, time now for a check of our local weather. It will be partly cloudy with a high of 18 to low of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Take a look at your forecast as we head to a break. More GMSKN on the other side.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life every living day. A happy place in the life every living day. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. As was previously announced, TVC is now live on the TEL TV network in St. Martin, and Good Morning SKN will air there today for the first time. So you're encouraged to tell your friends and family members to tune in to TVC on TEL TV network. And of course, it's great to have you guys in St. Martin watching us. We continue with the latest in regional news at this time. This from Caribbean News Now. At the 44th Summit of the Caribbean Community CARICOM last Thursday, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced that his country is allotting $44.8 million in aid to the region, intending to focus on new initiatives such as, quote, biodiversity, climate resilience, and disaster preparedness and recovery to support CARICOM in addressing the climate crisis, end quote. The official statement from the Office of the Prime Minister said, quote, Canada recognizes that climate change and biodiversity loss do not respect borders and is committed to supporting climate action in developing countries through its $5.3 billion financial commitment to climate change within the periods 2021 to 2026. In his speech at the summit, Trudeau elaborated on the initiatives further, saying that the support is on, quote, disaster preparedness and climate resilience, and nature-based solutions to climate change while protecting biodiversity in the Caribbean, end quote, will be of the utmost priority.
We continue now with international news. This from the Good News Network. Michael Jordan celebrated his 60th birthday Friday, the 17th February, with the largest donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation in history. The $10 million fortune will go to create an endowment to provide the funds needed to make future wishes possible for kids with critical illnesses, the foundation explained in a release. Jordan noticed that he, end quote, can't think of a better birthday gift than seeing others join him in supporting the foundation, and that he hopes the donation will allow every child to experience the magic of having their wish come through, end quote. President and CEO of the Make-A-Wish America, the Make-A-Wish Foundation America, Leslie Motter, applauded Jordan's ability to create a legacy both on and off the court. Motter said in a statement, and quote, everyone knows about Michael's legacy on the basketball court, but it is what he has consistently done off the court when no one's watching that makes him a true legend for Wish families and the wider Make-A-Wish community, end quote. So that's a great gesture indeed.
Definitely so. There you have it for the latest for today. We'll be back in a moment with more GMSKN. Stay tuned.
That's it.
An exotic experience.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, it's Ben's Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it already. See me, I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Ben's Lad. It's a big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Welcome our first guest of the day, the top female CXC CCSLC student of 2022, Jashonia Edwards, to the side of Good Morning SKN. Good morning, Jashonia.
Good morning, welcome.
Thank you. All right, so first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondly, let's get right into it this way. How has, this accomplishment impacted you, impacted your community, impacted your parents?
Well, I'm very proud of myself. My parents, I believe that they are more proud than me. Yes, but I'm glad that I could have made them proud with everything because they have done so much for me.
I can only imagine.
That is so sweet. So when did you find out? Where were you when you found out? And what was your reaction that you were the top regional female student?
Well, I was at home in bed.
Okay.
And then I got the call, and then I flew up out of the bed screaming because I didn't expect it. And I called my father first because he's always proud and he likes to talk. He likes to, how to put it? Not like
boost you up?
Yes.
Okay.
He's very supportive.
Okay.
So he was my first call.
Okay.
All right, so I hear you say that you were surprised to receive the call, and I imagine, you know, when you're competing with so many other students, you want to do your best, you're thinking about doing well for you. To get that award, to be recognized in such a way, what does it really mean to you?
Well, it means a lot, because then it means that I feel like I have inspired people so they can do it as well, because a lot of times we as the young people, sometimes people don't believe in us. So I feel like that gave some others boost so they could try and accomplish the same thing or more.
Listen, I'm listening to you and I'm so impressed by you. That's absolutely correct.
So Joshonia, I see you did 14 subjects. Did you do them in 2 parts or did you do them in one shot?
One sitting.
And would you accredit your success to the fact that your mom is a teacher, so she's always been behind you throughout?
Yes, she has always encouraged me to do my best.
Okay.
And to strive for anything that I want, because anything is impossible as long as you put your mind to it.
Right, anything is definitely possible. All right, so let's talk about this, because obviously you're doing 14 subjects. You've got to have, like, I don't know, crazy time management skills. You were engaged in other activities and so on. How did you do it?
Well, I'm a dancer and an assistant tutor at the Shekinah Dance Theatre. But because my schedule was so busy with classes, I had to make the decision to take a step back for a year to focus on studies. You know, we have family lunch every Sunday. Those had to be cut short.
What?
So you made the sacrifice a year in advance.
Yes.
Awesome.
So tell us about the time you dedicated to studying and preparing for your exams.
At nights, you know, near sleepless nights or no sleep at all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Had to give up a lot of things, focus, because I'm easily distracted. So that was kind of hard.
Okay.
But I overcame it.
Good stuff. Glad to hear.
I think that distraction factor is to your benefit, because clearly 7, 8 subjects couldn't hold your interest, so you did all 14. Of the 14, which was the most interesting to you?
I would say accounts.
Oh, yeah.
Accounts turned out to be my favorite subject. I picked it up in a year and I wrote it. And if you listen to the teachers when I complained about writing it, I did not expect to do so well in the accounts. Yes.
That's crazy. What did you like about it?
I love numbers.
Oh.
So I saw my brother doing it once. And I was like, what are you doing? And then he said, accounts. And then I was like, Mommy, I want to do accounts. And then she found a teacher for me to sit it to.
So you did extra classes?
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask your grades? You have attained 14 subjects. How many distinctions have you?
9 distinctions.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
That was so impressive. Absolutely so impressive. But even before that, because I'm going to go back to your youth a little bit. You were valedictorian at the Tyrrell Williams Primary School and also at the Virtuals High School. No sign of success at all? Whoa. You didn't predict this? I mean, seriously.
Well, from since I was younger, my father and family always told me I was destined for this.
That's sweet.
And I'm a smart person. So it was expected.
Okay.
I can appreciate that. I definitely can appreciate that. There's something about a family dynamic when you hear it all the time and they're constantly motivating you, isn't it? That lets you believe that you could do anything.
Yes.
Do you want to say any special words to your mom and dad right now?
Well, thank you for always believing in me and letting me know that I can do it if I put my mind to it.
Nice, lovely, lovely. So mom and dad, you heard that. So tell us, we know accounts is one of your favorite and one of the subjects you would have attained. What are the other subjects that you got your passes in?
You mean
The other
distinctions?
13?
Oh.
No. You
All?
did 14. So
Yes.
accounts, we know you passed for sure, because that's your favorite. So what are the other 13 subjects that you did?
Principles of business, food and nutrition, math, EDPM, information technology, history, English A, literature, French, Spanish, PE. No, always forgetting something.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But that's good though. Wow.
Did food
English A and English B. Wow, you're good.
Well, it turns out that you like accounting so much that you're pursuing an associate degree in it at the Clarence Fitzgerald Bryant College. How's that going?
It's going good. It's a little different from high school, which was expected. But otherwise than that, it's good.
Talk to us about the differences so far. What's different about it?
So now you have to how to put it?
Do more on your own, perhaps?
Yes.
Okay. So they're not giving you all the information.
No,
So
you have
you've
to
got
go home and research and stuff like that.
Well, that's not new to you at all, because I'm pretty sure that you had to do a lot of that. You picked up accounts in 1 year, so you had to do a lot of it.
Yes.
As well. Okay, great.
What are some of the difficulties you would have encountered as you prepared to write your exam, minus giving up your extracurricular activities that you would have said?
I don't really think I had anything other than that.
Okay. So every morning you woke up. Well, you mentioned sleepless nights. So how was it when it was exam morning? Did you get a little rest here and there to prepare for that morning?
Exam mornings, I used to make sure I slept the night before.
Okay, so you slept.
Yes.
Okay.
There's something that you said, Jashonia, earlier on that spoke to achieving the impossible and having, your family motivate you. What would you say to other young people, not even young people, those of us who are not so young anymore, who, want to take on tasks that we might think we can't succeed at? What would you say to them based on your experience?
I would say don't listen to the naysayers, because they always have something to try to bring you down. You just have to focus on yourself and put your best foot forward. And then, when you do that, you can achieve anything.
I like that.
I've just got to ask you this, because you're piquing my interest even more now. When you say don't listen to the naysayers, you're a very young age. You did 14 subjects. I mean, that's heavy, right? Were there any negative words that you heard that you had to just block out while you were on this path?
A lot.
A lot. How did you do that?
Well, sometimes it got to the point where I didn't want to do it, but my mother, she said, don't listen to anybody, do what you know you can do, because anything you can do. Just ask the Lord for help, and He shall direct your path.
I like that.
The future is bright.
Very bright.
And your future is going to be very bright. Jashonia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome.
My pleasure.
More Good Morning SKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar, you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
位朋友，大家好. Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. No, our first guest is still here with us. Yes, she's not going anywhere. So we'll continue this engaging conversation with Ms. Jashornia Edwards. So Jashornia, you're studying to be a forensic accountant. So what are some of your other academic goals whilst you are at the CFBC?
To get out of CFBC alive, right? That's your goal. You just want to survive it, don't
you? So, alrighty.
I get it. All right. So forensic accounting. What do you understand forensic accounting to be? And I noticed that when Cortense asked you the question about your future career, you smiled. I mean, you just lit up. So, what do you understand forensic accounting to be, and what turns it on for you?
Well, forensic accounting is basically when an accountant goes into a firm to investigate if they're following the rules of accounting and to make sure there's no misconduct in the financial reporting.
I have a really, an inkling that you're going to be a really good forensic. As a matter of fact, you'll be good at anything that you do. I can sense that already, Jashornia. But accounting just lights you up, doesn't it?
So, from what I'm understanding, the forensic accountant looks over the work that an accountant would have previously looked over.
Yes.
Okay, so you delve a little deeper into the business. Okay, so now that we know that you said forensic accounting is that career, you're sticking to it. But then you mentioned that you did food and nutrition as well. Well, I see it's one of your favorite subjects. And you mentioned you took it up for fun because you like to cook. So let us know, what is it you like to cook?
I mostly like to bake.
Ooh.
So, in my family, I'm famous for my chocolate cake.
And you didn't bring us some this morning? Okay.
I love to bake chocolate cake. That's probably my favorite thing to do.
Wow. So, when was the last time you baked a chocolate cake?
I don't know.
You've been that busy?
It's been a while since I've actually been in the kitchen.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thanks to mom and dad, right? Definitely thanks to mom and dad. All right, so apart from dancing, you have other hobbies. Reading is the one that I want to focus on. I'm going to ask you, what do you like to read? What do you do in your spare time? What books?
I mostly read fictional books.
Oh, yeah? Do you have a favorite one right now?
No.
Favorite author?
I read different things.
Different things? Okay. Good to know. Normally, I'm the person who likes an author and I go through. But I'm going to follow you. You learn a lot more that way. Music. What's your favorite genre?
I can't stick to one.
You can't stick to one. You love it all. You love them all.
No.
Wow. Okay. No. What's the last thing that you listened to that really had you going, I'm trying to see how you unwind. That's all it is, because you're so busy and accomplished. I want to know what you do to unwind.
The song I listened to a song this. Well, it wasn't a song, but it was an African church. They post their worship on YouTube, and it's African music, so you just have to.
Yeah, you can't sit still. I got it.
Can't resist it.
So the fact that you're a dancer, when you hear these types of worship music, do you instantly go into choreography?
Sometimes you just move around and your body does whatever.
So you just move around. Okay. So your greatest inspiration in your academic journey thus far?
That would have to be my family. Because they always push me to do my best. They inspire me, so I didn't want to disappoint them. So I tried my hardest to make them proud.
So have you since had a big celebration with the family since you found out that you are the top regional female student?
Yes.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
What are some of the gifts that they may have given you?
Money.
She said that very easily. Money. That's good. That's
That's very
nice.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so take us on the journey with you. You're in CFBC now. Obviously, you're highly intelligent. You're working hard to become a forensic accountant. What does your trajectory look like? How soon will you pursue another degree?
Well, as soon as I'm finished with CFBC, I would like to go off to university. I don't want to take any breaks. I want to have my PhD by the time I'm 26.
Go girl.
So no breaks,
No
hard
breaks.
work, because at the end, I know I've accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, and I can live peacefully and comfortably and take care of my family as well.
Awesome inspiration. Have you identified any universities yet? Have you narrowed down, where you want to go?
No, I'm still searching for one that speaks to me.
Okay.
Oh, I like that. The college had a recent visit by the UE 5 Islands campus. Did that ring any bell for you? Not yet.
No.
Okay. All right.
Unfortunately, I figured that because we know the universities that are close by, but obviously you're looking for something that appeals to you. In what way, those? Academically only, or are you looking for student life, that sort of thing? Have you thought about those things yet?
Both, because I believe balancing education and life is still important. You have to find a common ground in it. So you can't just do all studying. You have to take a break, a mental.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, wise beyond your years too.
Absolutely right. Back on the university train, I'm just trying to eke it out of you here. So you haven't found one that speaks to you yet. Have you found a location that might speak to you? Do you want to study in the region? Do you want to study outside of the region? What's your preference?
I was thinking about studying outside of the region.
Okay.
How far are you willing to go?
Canada or the United States.
Okay. All right. Great.
Fair enough. So, Joshonia, before we let you go this time, what advice do you have for other students who may be preparing for the CSEC exams?
Well, my advice to them would be, put down your phone. Put down your phone. It's a huge distraction, I must admit. I was struggling with it. So put down your phone, but even if it's just for an hour,
okay,
you put it down, you study, you check it out, oh, who messaged me? You put it back down and just continue studying, believe in yourself, because I just believe that it has a lot of people who try to pull you down.
Yes.
So believe in yourself, don't listen to them, and do what you know you can do.
Sound advice, I must say. Sound advice indeed, and we wish you nothing but the best as you continue your studies at CFBC and onwards. We know we're going to hear from you again. Your future is bright. You're a smart young lady. We're looking forward to great things from you. So now you have a new family here at GMS SKN as well, okay? And next time you have to bring the chocolate cake, don't forget.
No problem.
All right. GMS SKN Nation, our top female CXC student, regional student, Miss Joshonia Edwards. More after this short break. Stay tuned.
shit.
An exotic experience.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
Yoshi Boy say representing for Good Morning SKN. We say good vibes, good energy, blessings and love. Voice rated.
Thank you for joining us and welcome back to Good Morning SKN. For this segment of the quote of the day, Jamie and I will be discussing a poem by St. Lucian poet Derek Walcott. The quote says, "The discontentment that lies in the human condition is not satisfied simply by material things." Once again, the discontentment that lies in human condition is not satisfied simply by material things. So, Jimmy, what is your understanding of
I'm going to wait for you. I'm going to wait for you. Personal understanding.
Okay, I will certainly begin. That no matter how much material things that you have in life, it doesn't bring you the contentment that you may need. As I read a quote, I think from David Rockefeller, he says, if you don't have the companionship of your friends and family, then having all the material wealth in the world means nothing. And we see that sometimes when we look at celebrities, they have all the monies that we wish we would have had, but they're not happy. So material things are just material things. Another person said, you amass all these things in life, but then when you go, you die, you cannot take any with you. The only thing that will be left is the goodness that you would have done here on earth. Like we spoke about Michael Jordan giving 10 million to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. When he goes, that's going to be something that somebody may speak about in his eulogy, to say, oh, he was not only good on the court, but he was good off as well. So that's my personal understanding of it, that no matter what you have in life, happiness, friends, family, and those things matter more, because you came in with nothing and you will leave with absolutely nothing.
All right, so the discontent that lies in the human condition is not satisfied simply by material things. Now, as I like to do with most things, I look at every single word. So you've categorized, that part, discontent that lies in the human condition is not satisfied by material things, but I want to focus on that word simply, because simply suggests that material things can, to some extent, bring you a level of happiness. Mm-hmm. And let's be realistic, if we have to go through the basic needs, Maslow's hierarchy, for instance, food and shelter, that's basic.
Yep.
Those are material things. If you don't have the ability to feed yourself, you're not even going to be thinking about other things. You have to satisfy those basic needs. So you can, to some extent, find contentment by or through material things. The question is, in what proportion should that contentment be found in material versus the non-material things?
Because sometimes we have stuff, Jamie, and because I see you have a new shoe, I go and get a new shoe. So it's like we just want more and more and more and more. So the discontent, because we have, as you might say, we live in a comfortable house, we have food, but because we see our neighbor build a 2-story now, we gonna put ourselves in debt to keep up with the Joneses. So we add more. So we just keep adding more, and our discontent just continues to grow. And in doing that, our discontentment brings us unhappiness, stress, unnecessary bills. So to me, material things, as you said, some material things are necessary, but the overconsumption or just buying, compulsive buying, needing more and more when you don't, not need, wanting more and more because you don't need it. It just sends you off because...
Depends, because my mood might be changed, and I'm just throwing this out there. My mood might be changed by the fact that when I walk into a particular environment, I feel as though, you know, it gives a certain air of class. It makes me happy that I'm in that environment. And why? Because they're material things that don't have. You know what I mean? An expensive chandelier, a fountain, a nice hotel room with a big bed. Those are the different things that I guess to some degree, it makes the statement applicable to those who actually do have and who want and who understand that material things can to some degree affect your mood. And some would even say bring you happiness.
But then, so since material things cannot basically satisfy every area of the human life, right? What brings the discontentment then? Because let's speak on the celebrities. They have it all. And then we see most of them.
They don't.
Wait, hold up. I'm just in the context of money, right? Okay, let's go with money. They have all the money, Jimmy, they can buy whatever, they can catch whatever flight, they can go whatever. We have to plan. We have to put these things in place. I'm going on a trip next year, I have to start saving now. They can just go. And at the end of the day, you see most of them commit suicide, most of them are unhappy, most of them go on drugs, most of them just disappear off the headlines. You don't hear about them until you hear of their demise. But so having all the material things, the basics, and still some, and so much more that they can acquire, they're still not happy.
That can be said for a lot of us, that we're not happy even having little.
Yes, as I said before.
What makes someone happy that is relative to that person. It might be relative to a geographical region, depending on what's going on in that region. We talk about food and shelter. Some people don't have. That's all that they need to be happy. I mean, the world is a sad place sometimes, and we're just trying to make everybody a little happier by doing what we can. Sometimes that means providing some material things. Sometimes it means going beyond that.
Richard Branson, he said material things are a delight, but they're not important. And that's why I kind of look up to him. That's the one person I would love to meet and have a chat with, because although he has it all, he says, I still fly economy, and he can fly first class, he can fly business class, but he chooses to sit in the back.
That's great of him. He also flies to space. No, you don't.
Yeah, but he still finds a level of happiness by just reading books, by just hanging around on his patio in the BVI, you know. He aspires to more, but it appears to me that he is satisfied with where he is. I don't know what else he's trying to amass, but he has not shown me an inkling or any sign of unhappiness. He's always been a low-key, quiet, humble person, from what I would have seen.
I'll tell you this much. If we were to ask people what makes you happy, we'd probably get different answers from different people, because here's my understanding of happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Happiness varies from moment to moment. Joy, however, is, unwavering.
Yeah.
So I might get something and it makes me happy. Obviously, we're talking about happiness. So what is it about humans? What is that about us and the ongoing race for happiness that we seem to be on? And should we be on that quest to find happiness, or should we just learn to be content wherever we are in life while we strive to accomplish more, to do better, or to acquire more. What, you know, it's different for different people, I gather, and it also depends on a certain level of experience, sadly some pain. Age sometimes teaches you things, mistakes sometimes, you know, they teach us things. So how happy are we, and should we really be focusing on being happy, or should we be focusing on the lessons that we can learn by going beyond happiness and finding joy?
And I like what you said just now about being contented at the stage of life that you may be in, while you strive to do better. So it makes no sense competing with the Joneses or doing things that are going to throw you out of your comfort zone or out of your happiness. So just gradually be happy at this stage, next stage, be happy. As the song said, don't worry, be happy, but that don't work because we worry more than we are trying to be happy.
It's an interesting discussion to have on materialism and happiness, because particularly for, again, I go back to it, people of African descent who historically have been deprived of things such as land, who've been deprived of the means of production, so we have to depend on other people who control those means. Even now, the vast majority of the population, you ask people if they're entrepreneurial or not, you might get, you know, a little spike in it, but really a lot of us are dependent on the minority to provide our needs as much as we would like to say that we can sustain ourselves. That's really not true. And so when we talk about, you know, happiness versus joy and what that means, there is, I would say, a cultural context in which we can have that discussion as well. Because when you talk about competing with the Joneses, maybe wanting to have this or have that, does that come from a place of being deprived culturally and historically? And do we need that to feel secure? Could be.
Look at the upsurge and changing of our looks right now in the world, because we weren't born to look alike. And I'm going to bring God into this a little bit. Us being discontented is basically rebelling against him, because I'm telling him, look, I don't like this nose you made me with. I don't like this body you made me with. I don't like this. I don't like that. So instead of trying to strive for health, we strive for looks or something that looks the same. And he made none of us the same. Even if we begin to look the same, if we were to run our fingerprints, they're all different. So we strive in so many ways to attain things that makes no sense, because when we die, who is going to remember we changed our nose, we fixed our butt, we did our boobs, we did our waist? Who's going to remember that? Who is going to remember that I wore a 20-inch ponytail? Nobody. They may talk about it for a second, but after that, I'm done with. Nobody's going to speak about me. So we are working, or I should say, our consumerism is like crazy, but to what avail? Because we're not happy, because we're always striving. I started at 6-inch ponytail. Next month I want a 10. I moved to 15. I moved to 20. I moved to 21. My hair is literally dragging on the ground, and I'm still not pleased. I wasn't made that way, but that's my desire to be that way. So my continued discontent with what God made and put on this earth is not comforting to me, but me looking like somebody else brings some sort of comfort. But then when I see that person upgrade, I want to upgrade like them.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that you brought God into it. Nothing against God, trust me, right? Not everybody believes in God, and that's the thing. And some people believe that they're their own God, to be honest with you. When we talk about things like plastic surgery, I'm mindful that this is not what you were talking about, but I'm mindful that there were some people who were forced to do that because of medical conditions, because of accidents, because of things that, you know, cause them to feel ugly when they look at themselves because they feel disfigured in some way. There are some people who actually have those mental issues where they do feel disfigured even though they're not. And this is why I say to you again, happiness is subjective in a lot of ways. And I'm mindful not to project, as it were, my feeling of what makes me happy onto someone else, because I really don't know what their struggle is. I don't know what they're going through. And even when they tell me, they're going to leave certain things out. And that's just the deal, right? So I guess at the end of the day, it is to say that while you can't fulfill all of your needs, while you can't experience true happiness or joy, whatever you want to call it, fully through material things, my take on it is that those things can go a long way to making some people happy as you mentioned when we talked about Michael Jordan and his philanthropic endeavors, Bill Gates, and so many other people who prefer to remain nameless that we don't know, but we receive, you know, gifts from them. They're benefactors to us and so many more people around the world. When we think of that, material things have the ability to improve quality of life and to make so many other people happy.
Yes.
If we could just think about it as something that other people can enjoy outside of us, not just us then. And so in that case, I would say to you, yes, there is an extent to which material things can make people happy.
Yes.
And if you're doing that to make other people happy, make yourself happy.
Yeah.
And if buying something makes you happy, motivated, gets you up in the morning to go out and help other people improve their quality of life, hey, you know what? Do it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but do it and stay happy. Don't be discontented. With that said, see you after this short break.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moment Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It's time for us to loosen up, and today we'll be discussing the concept of leaving a legacy behind. I don't have to ask you if you consider this, because everything that you said in the previous segment suggests to me that that was on your mind when we were having that discussion.
Yeah.
Have I considered legacy? It's a very interesting question. The thought that came to my mind when you said what you said earlier about, you know, leaving a good name and so on is that if you're dead, you really don't care.
Well, you really don't know.
That's,
You really don't know.
Honestly, that was just my gut reaction,
Okay.
so I'm just putting it out there. It's like, okay, you know, we have people who are known for things, and not everybody's going to be remembered for good, believe it or not. Some people are going to be remembered
They're
for
gonna bring up the bad.
egregious acts. That's just how it is, right? Have I thought of legacy? I suppose, but I got to get through life first. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm still living, so there's a chance to do whatever. I guess I say that the concept of legacy for me seems to become operational when one is thinking about dying. And right now I'm thinking about living.
Okay. I won't say that, because I'm sure almost all humans would like to know that at their funeral or their last day on earth, that, well, atop earth, that persons would remember most of the good or say most of the good and what they were remembered for. You know, it will be constant chatter. Oh, she motivated me. She did this. She did that. And as you said, somebody's going to try to bring up the bad. Remember when she did? But at least majority, the good will outweigh the bad, right? And as with Michael Jordan, they're going to talk about his basketball days as they did for Kobe. They're going to talk about the good that he did. They're going to talk about the plans that he possibly had that weren't accomplished. And his foundation, or his children and his grandchildren, great-grandchildren, might try to carry on that legacy. Like Les Brown normally says, there's no way to get out of life alive. So you have to do your best whilst on earth. Miles Monroe said the same thing. He said, most of the world's potential is in the cemetery, because we basically, or the persons that would have gone on, they're gone with them. They didn't leave them out here, so there's no legacy left behind.
But it's an interesting discussion to have again, because obviously when we're talking about legacy, we're talking about something that can be valued or treasured for a long time. But I think that discussion needs to be had in the context of, what are you doing while you are alive to ensure that the world feels your wave, your disturbance, and not a disturbance in a bad way. It could be a ripple effect, but not a bad way. You know what I mean? So we're talking about legacy, but legacy comes to me in a lot of instances, maybe all of them. Maybe you disagree. Could be the end of something that triggers legacy, right? You're living. You have the opportunity to change the world. So the question is, what are you doing to put the world in a better state than you found it? Are you doing that? To me, that happens when you're alive. The legacy, yes, it's going to go on for a long time, but I don't think that I'm looking at, oh, I have to leave a legacy as much as I'm focused on, this is the life I want to live, and this is how I want to affect or impact the people around me. Some of it is in my control, some of it is not, clearly. But that's the thing, you know what I mean? That's where I'm at with this concept of legacy.
But if you notice, most people think about legacy as money, right?
Really?
Majority of people think about leaving a legacy. Jamie, most people think about, okay, let's just touch on Jay-Z for a minute. They're going to talk about what Jay-Z did, but they're going to look at the legacy he left behind, which is how much money he left. Most people do look at the money, Jay.
That's the estate. That's not a legacy.
But yes, but then they're still going to say he did this and he did that, and these were the things that he do to ensure, let's say, the financial legacy for he left a big lump sum of money for his kids. Certain persons might connote that to his legacy, and not all the philanthropy he would have done, the records he would have put out, the monies he would have donated. They're going to be looking at, how much money leave for me, boy? Or here in St. Kitts, I'm trying to find a family whose name continues to carry on and on and on and on. Because sometimes you have the family name, people look up to you, like the Rockefellers. Let's go for the Rockefellers, because I'm not finding a name for a Kittitian unless you have one for me. But the person that's going to carry on his
I'm not going to say the name. I'm not going to say the name because we know what it is. We're here on the island.
Yeah. But the family that's going to carry on the Rockefeller estate will try to be the best like him, but they can't be like him. But they'll still try to make sure his name remains relevant and good. As we would say, keep a good name.
You know what? I'm just going to put this out there. We're very good at glamorizing people's lives when they've departed.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I would even go as far as to say the legacy is an amplified version of the good that they've done. And it's definitely, when you consider that relative to what they've not done, or perhaps what they did that wasn't really that good, we're focusing on the positive. That's really great, but I'm just being realistic about it. Sometimes the legacy is an amplified version of the positive. Yeah, that's me. Now,
so we're not giving them their flowers whilst they're alive. Let's talk about Abraham Lincoln then. His legacy. What is he known for? Helping with ending the abolition of slavery, right? But then in that same contrast, people still speak about his dyslexia. Was he dyslexic as well? People still talk about that. So we speak about his legacy, all the good things that he would have accomplished, but then, as you say, the naysayers will still have the little bad to say about him in the back.
Well, not necessarily that the naysayers would say that. I was just saying that when we're having this discussion about legacy, we're choosing sometimes to focus on something that's very positive, and disregarding a lot of times those things that are not as attractive. And then we amplify those things and we say, this is that person's legacy and that's that person's legacy. Might be true, might not be true. It's just an amplify. That's the way I'm seeing it. Maybe it's a distorted view of what legacy is to the vast majority, but I do believe that there are such instances where we glamorize the good that people do, and that goes on, and then, you know, we hear it generation after generation after generation. But in reality, when we look at the good versus the bad, and there's that comparison relatively, we see, well, they were pretty much on the same level. So it wasn't really anything that, you know, to write home about, but we've decided that we, you know, have to talk about the legacy, or that's a legacy, and we hear it and we hear it and we hear it, and then, you know, it becomes amplified. It is what it is. The other thing that I want to say here is that, and I kind of alluded to it without saying that, I talked about the world, you know, making the world a better place, but your world could be, you know, a very small circle. Could be the people that you work with. It could be people in your family, the people in your community. It could be the people across different islands or countries. It depends on your sphere of influence. But you do, I guess, this concept of legacy, just live well. That's me, live well.
But how important is legacy for our history, though? Because we still talk about a lot of these persons. I'm gonna go local. We have a whole book now explaining Dr. Bradshaw's legacy, or Premier Bradshaw's legacy. I'm sure when the other prime ministers pass on, we'll have the same thing. Dr. Kennedy Simmons has his flower while he's alive. He already has his book. So we can learn about him while he's alive, ask him questions while he's alive. Back to Abraham Lincoln, he has a whole legacy. Martin Luther King, a whole legacy. Martin Luther King, an unfinished legacy, I would say. As I told you about the statue that they would have erected in Washington, D.C., it's unfinished. And the tour guide said it's because he did not get to finish what he started. So his legacy lives on. They recently did a statue of him and his wife. That's to ensure that his legacy continues.
But in that vein, everyone who's departed has the potential to leave a legacy. If we're defining legacy as something that goes on for an extended period of time, if we are defining it that way, I do believe that we all have the potential to leave legacies. It's just that some have more of an impact on a wider cross-section of the community or the world. And so we'll talk about those things. But the reality is, you don't get a legacy if you've not lived. And the question to me is not what kind of legacy are you going to leave? The question is, while you are alive, what is it that you are doing that will be worth talking about in a positive way? That to me is the question. And that's why I said before that I wasn't focused on a legacy, because I think it's something that people think about when they are about to kick the bucket, if you pardon the expression. Really, if you're living, you're thinking about how much can I get out of life? And hopefully that, you know, discussion with yourself transcends the boundary of what I can get out of life or how much I can get out of it. And it goes to, well, how much can I give into other people's lives? That to me is what's important.
Okay. What do you think about passing on values to the next generation? Because our parents ensure that they instill values in us that we find valuable today. As a kid, you didn't want to hear, well, I'm going to speak about me personally. I didn't want to hear about half of them things, but now that I'm an adult, I understand and they're valuable for me today. But I find sometimes passing them on to the younger generation, just like how I didn't want to hear them, they don't observe them like they should. And it's only with time and lessons, maybe it will work for them as well.
Here's my thing. When we talk about passing on values to, you know, the next or the younger generation, we pass on a lot of things. Some of us pass them on directly, some of us pass them on indirectly. And not all that we pass on are good.
Correct.
And that's the whole point of it, because we could pass on a lot of things. For instance, behavior that we might observe, or we might have observed in people who are older than us. We're looking at them, we don't like what they're doing. And we come up with our own value system that informs how we are going to live. It doesn't mean that we're directly out there saying, well, this is the value that you should do, and so your partner. Doesn't mean that that's what was communicated to us either.
Yeah.
We looked, we saw, and I think the younger generation has the ability to do that as well. They'll either take what you tell them directly or what you show them. Well, they'll take what you show them anyway, because in a lot of cases, it's what we've seen, not what we've heard, that has informed how we navigate this thing called life. But that's my whole thing. When we talk about passing on, we pass on a lot of things, and we'd be surprised what has been passed on. Not all of it's good.
Yeah.
You're transmitting when you're not even realizing that you're transmitting information. So the reality is, you're shaping people's value systems regardless. Is that your legacy? Am I going to remember that you did a very bad thing and it affected, so many people this way that I don't want to be like that? So when I think of doing better, you are that point of reference for me that says you're that post that I go to say, oh, no, wrong direction.
Yeah, that didn't work out for them.
It happens as well.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work for me. So legacy does teach us good things and bad things, and leave examples. I would conclude first to follow and not to follow, right? You would say.
Hey, just live well. We're talking about legacy. I'm here talking about life, right? It's how are you living? I mean, seriously. And you know it. You know it. We all have that sixth sense where you know how people affect you, or how even you're affecting people. We know it. Just live well, affect people well. Forget about the legacy. Can I say that? Yes, I just did. Forget about the legacy and focus on the living.
Yeah.
That to me is important.
Okay.
All right. Now, that was a mouthful. If you want to hear more, come back after this. Stay tuned.
What will it take to grab the attention of someone with the power to make your dream come true? 7 hopeful entrepreneurs in search of the finances necessary to take their ideas to the next level.
This is their lives, right? This is their business.
4 savvy business owners ready to make a pragmatic investment.
You can't help people if you can't help yourself. First, you make the dollar and you give the dollar.
Why you take your business offline?
I really feel that you need to do a little bit more research.
Very knowledgeable. Super knowledgeable.
You have a great idea and a great concept. I think you'd be snapped up by Disney.
If you have a job someplace, it means that if something is not working, you can walk away.
Who will invest?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Thank you. And who will be sent home with nothing? I am your host, Kevin Hope.
no cash, no card, no problem. Jad, embrace the freedom.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
Good morning. This is Karen of Paris and support from Paris, Vermont. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Our second guests for today are no strangers to the show. Welcome Shaira Flanders, Head of the Media and Communication Unit at the Department of Agriculture, and Delwyn Delaney, Senior Business Advisor at the Small Businesses Development Center. They are joining us here today to share some insight into the upcoming Back to My Roots night market. So good morning. Well, before I continue, I think I'm missing out a little thing. So TVC is now live on the Tele TV network in St. Martin, and Good Morning SKN is airing there today for the first time. So tell your friends and family to tune in and that Shaira and Delwyn are on, so they have to watch. Okay? So good morning to you both and welcome back.
Good morning again. It's always a pleasure.
Always our pleasure having you indeed.
Yes. I'm family now.
Of course. Delwyn is as well.
Sure is. So can you tell us the role the Department of Agriculture and Small Business Development Center has in this particular night market?
Okay, so obviously you know that I'm always excited. I say this every time because it's true, you could tell. The night market event is my favorite event, and it's usually hosted by just the Ministry of Agriculture. But in 2023, we've decided that we're going to partner with Small Business Development. Yay! So we'll be partnering with Small Business Development Center, and that's of course why I brought Delwyn with me here today, because the Agri-Night Market is not just about agriculture anymore. We have decided that we're going to partner with them, which is something that is new to us, but it's not quite scary because of course we have farmers who are also small business owners. And so, of course, later on in the conversation, I'll let Delwyn tell us a little bit about small business and the role that small business will play in this particular event. The event, of course, that is this week.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
I don't know about later on in the conversation. How about now? Because I want to know, obviously, you've decided to partner. So what are you hoping to accomplish by establishing this partnership?
So last year, the Small Business Development Center, we decided to have a trade show, we like to call it, at the public market, and it was well received. We were on our own, so we asked the Ministry of Agriculture if we can, loan us the space, so to speak, and it was well received. And we invited persons from the Ministry of Agriculture. They were there while the small businesses showcase their products and services to some extent. And as Ms. Flanders would have indicated, that come 2023, that we decided to say, hey, let's work together, right? Let's share our resources. You have some things that we need, and vice versa, and we can merge our synergies and make it a grand event. So that's where the whole concept came about. And Ms. Flanders would have indicated that farmers are also small business owners, right? And we understand that we can always use that assistance as it relates from a technical standpoint, especially farmers. They like to be in the field, plowing and doing what they do on a daily basis, and sometimes the technical aspect is not where it needs to be. So we think that is a very positive collaboration in this event.
Yes. Well, it sounds like a great marriage to hear you articulate it.
It is.
But I want to know, why wait this long to figure that you folks could have collabed?
Well, the truth is, I feel like it was something in the making. Okay. The good thing about it, though, is we did not really have such a close relationship before, but we now do, because our minister is the same minister. Okay. The Honorable Samuel Duggins is also not only the Minister of Agriculture, but the minister responsible for small business.
Got you.
Yes, so that's where the marriage comes in. Yes, he's thinking.
Indeed.
All right, so obviously the night markets, you said they're, they make me excited, they make you excited, they make everybody excited.
Absolutely.
Why now have Back to My Roots? What is going to be different this time around, other than what you've already said?
Well, I was thinking that I was hoping that you would have gotten the back to roots, Jamie, I mean, but for those persons who were wondering,
with Z, Shayura,
we usually have a theme for the night market events, but this particular theme for the night market that is coming up on Thursday, the 23rd, the Back to My Roots, it's actually us celebrating Black history, right? And so we decided, and I'm about to give you a really big announcement. This is going to be, your first reveal. This is going to be a monthly event. So last year, the last time we appeared on this show, we discussed, Mr. Ian Chapman and myself, that it was something that was tentative. We weren't certain as yet. And we were depending on the feedback from majority of the vendors and the farmers as well, for those persons who continuously asked, if this couldn't happen on a monthly basis. And so we've determined the Ministry of Agriculture, Small Business Development will now be collaborating, and we'll be hosting this particular event on a monthly basis. And so this month's theme is Back to My Roots, for the, of course, celebration of Black history, and it's also History and Heritage Month.
Okay.
So that particular theme at the night market, that's going to be on Thursday. We're inviting persons to come on out in their cultural / African wear. Yes, because we're going to have a competition. And that competition is going to allow for the best dressed person to get the recognition that they really do deserve.
Have you been in a bowl this time?
Yes. I mean, I guess you can say. But we're still kind of working out the kinks.
Okay.
Yes, we have a couple days to figure out the kinks in a couple places, but the Back to My Roots night market also focuses on eating the way that we were initially supposed to be eating. And so you know how we always promote eating local, eating healthy, buying local, growing your own. Well, this week we're featuring a few roots and tubers, because right now we have a couple of roots and tubers on the ground.
I was waiting for exactly. You see where my mind was going with roots, right?
We have a couple, yes, we have a couple roots and tubers on the ground, and so we are also promoting, we're highlighting eating more root crops, eating your roots and tubers, you know, not straying away from eating our sweet potatoes, your white potato, your cassava, you know, eating all of those things, your dashi. Yes, we take vegetables like beets for granted, and beets really does so much for the body.
Sure does.
So beets and carrots, sweet potatoes, all of those things will be highlighted at the night market, because that is also a part of participating in the back to roots, back to my roots. That's our food.
Yes.
That is the food that we should embrace, and that is the food that we really should be eating more of. So that's where the whole idea comes from. I mean, it also means, you know, we're celebrating our cultural heritage through music, culture, which brings me to my next point. We're also collaborating with the Department of Culture as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so they're going to also assist us with the whole production of things. We're going to have a few cultural presentations. So it would be nice for persons to come and, you know, while you're eating, of course, and you're partaking, you could also stay and enjoy the cultural presentation as well.
Yeah, learn something as well.
Yes, exactly.
So Delwyn, question for you. How many small businesses have already registered for this event?
We are at our max, so we have 30 plus. I think we're over actually. So we have to figure out some logistics there.
Okay.
So we have over subscribed within a matter of days. I said persons are excited about this. They can not only make a few extra bucks, but also the networking is very important, you know, and that's where you find the synergies, and you say, I didn't know you do this. Yeah, well, yeah, now you know, and you have long-lasting partnerships emerging out of these night markets and these collaborations and that sort of thing. So we are well on our way. As Ms. Flanders would have mentioned, it's a nightly market, so persons who would have missed out the month of February, is the camera. Don't miss it, month of March, you know, we got you.
Yes. Yes, so we're gonna have this. I know it's going to be a bit of a challenge. I know that, but I like a little bit of a challenge.
I was going to say for you, not me. I just have to. You're the one.
That's true. It'll be quite a bit of a challenge because we've been so used to, you know, planning and preparing for the event. That's usually on a quarterly basis. But this particular event, it gives the farmers and the small business owners, the agro-processors, the farmers, the fishers, you name it, all of our food producers, the opportunity to showcase what they offer. And if that means that we're going to help and cater to them on a monthly basis, then so be it.
When you speak about challenges, what type of challenges do you expect to encounter?
God, see, you know, people tired. We work. I mean, there is a lot that goes into, no matter how small a production is, there is always work to be done, always. But I really look forward to the planning of the event on a monthly basis. It's something new. And so we're going to try to give it our best shot. And since the partnership is also something that is new, perhaps it would give us bright ideas. You know, there's some things that you think you might have known already, that someone else might come with a different perspective and say, hey, you know what, maybe we should try this, maybe we should try that. And so the collaboration between small business development and also with the Department of Culture may actually help to turn this event into something that is bigger than what we, you know, initially had before, right? Yes, what it intended to be.
I like the prospects.
Yes.
And I like the enthusiasm and the happiness when you say bigger, the light that comes to your face.
It's a night market. There is food there. You know how I feel about my food, guys. There is always food. I'm telling you, the cook-up is absolutely popular. I'm telling you right now, the cook-up goes first. I don't understand why.
Because it's absolutely good, as you said.
I guess. But it sells so quickly. But the cook-up is definitely one of those things that if you really want to get it, you have to go early. The fresh fish, also the Bastair Fisheries Complex, when they bring fish thinking we're bringing enough fish. It's never
enough.
The lobsters go quickly, the conchs go quickly, everything is going to be there. Fresh, on the ice, ready to go.
So you
the
have
lobsters
to go
are also grilled, so you have to get there early. Also grilled. Also grilled.
Sherry, why are you making me hungry? I don't like that. Lucky for you. Your salvation lies in the fact that it's going to be a monthly event.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
So, which leads me to my next question, Darlene. Since you have, an influx of registrants this time around, is there any thought being given to perhaps running them over to the other months if you need to?
There is some thought of doing that. We have a very, very good database. We have been engaging the small businesses, and they understand, hey, maybe not this month, but next month, and so forth. So, they're very engaged. We have a wide spectrum of small businesses that will be on show come this Thursday, from persons who into jewelry, wax making, food and beverage, candles, you name it, they'll be there. It's a wide variety, pottery with what's her name?
Carla. Yes.
Right, so
and the earrings.
And the earrings with Bikish. Persons will be there all out, expecting, that good vibe come this Thursday. Yeah.
But I want to ask, so I didn't make it in this month, but I have to make it in next month. So I make it in next month, it's good. And from, let's say Jamie was in the previous month and he wants to come back. Is there any plans to do an expansion so that everybody can be there every month?
Listen, I think that we're going to soon have to have this conversation because I believe that this is something that is continuously growing. And because of that, we may have to actually sit down and discuss the prospects of expanding the event, maybe even taking it on the outside of the market. Hopefully. So that's a conversation that we would also have to have with the traffic department to see how maybe we could turn that particular strip of road into an avenue that would just specifically cater to the patrons of the night market. Yes, but we really right now want to focus on bringing persons back inside the market. Yes, so we're going to stick and stay right there at the market.
Why?
For now.
That's the why for me. Why inside? Why are you so focused on bringing them back inside?
Well, you see, the thing is, the public market and its history, it goes without saying. The purpose of the market is exactly why we have the night market events now. The initial intent for the night market was actually, the name was the Agri Night in the Market. So we shortened the term, of course, because it's catchy and for marketing purposes, of course, it's cute. But the whole idea and the concept is to have the night in the market, because most of the persons who visit the market and who visited as a child, like I did, we went with grandparents and we went with older siblings. Your parents carried you to get fresh fruits and vegetables on a Saturday morning, on a Monday morning. And so we wanted to just change that and make it something that was also a nighttime social event. Yes, we don't really have much that's going on when it comes to the purchasing of local, fresh, organic produce in the evening time.
Yes.
You go to the supermarket, and if the supermarket closes at 7 or 9 o'clock, that's it for you.
That's it.
This event is from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Why you're eating after 10 p.m., I don't know.
Because we're hungry and we need it.
But that gives you the opportunity to snack on healthy things like breadfruit chips.
Oh my gosh.
Cassava chips, plantain chips. Yes.
Oh,
if you're going to have those snacks in the evening time, perhaps this is the opportunity to make sure that you snack on something that is healthy and something that came from the ground. Yes. So we really want persons to understand. We want persons to feel the energy of the public market and to remember the whole purpose of the public market. Which also brings me to the next point. We're considering taking the night market to maybe the Sandy Point public market the next time around. Yes, and hopefully in the future we could also have it at the Boreal stalls as well. So we're having the discussions, and we will finalize. And of course, when I do and we come back, you'll know. You'll probably be the first to know.
Family, come on back.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So could you remind the public before we go the time of the night market?
Absolutely. So for those of you who missed it and you're just tuning in, we are preparing ourselves for the highly anticipated Back to My Roots Agri Night Market that is going to be held on Thursday, 23rd. That is this Thursday, 23rd February 2023. And it's going to be held at the Bastia Public Market from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Now, the last time I had to make it very clear, there were persons who wanted to stay in the public market all the way up to midnight. And I don't blame them, because the energy was there, the vibe was good. We had a couple lobsters left, maybe just 2. I had the last one, but I understood. So we don't really try to run people out of the market, because, you know, if we have vendors who are still there and they're selling, small businesses who are still there and they're selling, we want them to get the last bit of the sales. Yes, but we really want you to know that it ends at 10 p.m. Okay, so yes.
Because you've got work the next day.
Exactly, we do have work the next day. So please go easy on us. Please go easy on us. But we can't wait to see you there. And of course, because this is a monthly event, we want you to know if you missed this one, you should catch us on the next one. And that would be in March. Yes.
Wow, so much excitement.
It
Back
is.
to my roots. Yeah.
Back to
You guys
my
made me
roots,
hungry.
Agri Night
Sorry about
Market.
that. That's terrible. I'm thinking about food now, Deli. All right, but always a pleasure catching up with you guys.
Always.
Wish you every success with this endeavor and the collaboration.
Thank you. Always.
Good to see.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. More GMSKN in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
An exotic experience.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning. Good morning, this is Kayana Paris and support from Paris Ramon. I want to encourage y'all to sign on to Good Morning SKN every morning from 8 to 10 at Studio 327. Thanks.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Good morning, SKN. Wagwan. Yo, it's Ben's Lad coming to you live from Jamaica. You see it already. See me. I say Caribbean people stand up and I love this. This show is very important. You understand me? Yeah, man. Studio 327. Ben's Lad. So big up. See me, I say. I'm the whole innocent crew. Yeah, man. More love.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. For this edition of a Real Talk segment, Cretensi and I will be discussing a topic that has been in the airwaves for ages, basically, and it is what age should children receive their first phone? But before we discuss, there's a brief video we'd like you to take a look at.
Your thoughts?
They need a cell phone. I agree.
They need a cell phone, but at a certain age. I did a research, and Mr. Simon Leggett said to wait until the child starts secondary school, as the gentleman rightfully said, 9th grade, so 3rd form. But that's when they need to communicate, and I think that's correct, because our kids today, Jamie, are brought up by electronic devices. I don't know if you noticed, their heads are down. Soon everybody's gonna walk like this because our necks are mostly down in these things. And it doesn't make sense to give, and wait, before you start. Let's say a child has a Samsung, let's say a Samsung 8, and then the Samsung 9 comes in. They can be bullied, so what's the point? Kids should not have cell phone until they need to communicate with their parents. 8th grade, 9th grade, fair enough. As he said, extracurricular activities, extra classes. I get what the woman was saying with the Columbine situation where they could have called, but they shouldn't have cell phones at 8.
No, listen to me. This conversation, this discussion is moot in 2023, to be honest with you, because a cell phone is used for more than just calling.
Yeah, we
And
know
obviously, it could be used as a learning tool. It could be used as a way to communicate in the event of an emergency. And nobody really knows when emergencies are going to occur anyway. I mean, could you imagine something as devastating as an earthquake and you're in school? That happens. Your child is in school. God forbid there's something that's going on with the building. The phone lines are down. I don't know how you're going to deal with this. Maybe by chance you could have sent a signal. You could have sent a text message or something like that to say that you're okay. The way that we're talking about technology now, the fact that the youth are going to be the drivers of technology in the next few years says to me that there is no harm really in giving them access to a cell phone at that particular age of 8, because they're more knowledgeable, they're more savvy, they know how to use it, and they use it for more than just calling. I understand that there are concerns about safety, etc., but the reality is that they could be a great learning tool in a classroom. You could even have lessons and educate them on how to use the cell phone correctly, what to look out for. Have those discussions rather than being like, you know what, here, cell phone, no, too young. Who says that you're too young?
But we heard Miss Edwards said this morning that the cell phone was a distraction for her. The cell phone is a distraction for me as an adult. I have to literally put it away, like she said, and just go about my duties, or else I'll never finish what I set out to accomplish. Because once I start researching, something else pops up that's not part of my research, and I go to that, and I forget what I was doing. So the cell phone is a distraction, but I don't think they should have it. This is why most of the children, even the 8-year-olds, they're brought up on that cell phone. Half of the time, Jamie, most of them are not watching wholesome content. So I don't think they need a cell phone.
You've got apps for that. We talked about some apps. You've got apps for that. There are things that you can do, and you need to have that discussion with your child. Let's be realistic here. Your child is 8 years old, right?
I get what
sex
you're saying.
education was a thing. A cell phone in the hands of an 8-year-old, not really. I get it, but no, we're moving to an age where technology seems to be driving what youth do. And let's be realistic, because we're having a discussion about a cell phone, but how many of these 8-year-olds have tablets? A lot of them. Come on.
Almost all of them.
What's the difference?
That's why it's not recommended that they get devices this early too, because they said the kids are not, they're socially inapt, first off. They don't learn to read properly, and they're learning bad things. Because if you look, I have a little niece and nephew, and sometimes we have to take the tablet from them, as you say, and put on the parental blockage, because some of the things that are on YouTube for children are teaching them to be bully, are teaching them to be mean. They're nonsensical. They don't make no sense at all. So
yeah,
I don't think, we didn't grow up on tablets. We played. These kids don't go outside and play, Jamie.
These kids are smarter than we were, Hortensia.
They are. But should they be given a device at the age of 8?
I believe that they can be, and I believe that the problem is that, as you say, putting on parental blocks. What are the parents doing when they're watching these things, when they have these things? Who is in charge of, setting particular time frames in which they can be used? It's not just about giving them access to a device willy-nilly without having a conversation as to how you should use it, what to look for, having that dialogue open, those sorts of things, setting those parameters in place so that the children know exactly what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. But to say that you're going to deprive them because of what exactly? What's the justification for it? Not when we are creating a generation of people who are savvy, who are smart, who are thinking way beyond the level that we used to think at that age. I think we need to embrace it more than shy away from it. And I think that what we're doing a lot of times is that we're shying away from what we don't understand as older people.
We're just trying to protect them, because as I said,
from what?
Bullying.
Yeah.
Seeing the wrong things
we didn't know
internet.
what bullies were without cell phones.
Technically, we didn't think it. We just thought they were a mean person. We never used that term until afterwards.
It means the same thing, though, and that's the point. It's like anything that you have access to through a device, you have access to in real life. That's just it. So it's just a tool. The question is, how are you going to use that tool? What are you going to use it for? And what boundaries are you going to put in place that stipulate how that tool is going to be used or not? It's just. Yeah, you can give a child access to that device. I see nothing wrong with it. I really think that it prevents a lot of ills happening. I mean, seriously.
Prevents a lot of ills like?
I don't know, thwarted abductions. Like abductions, for instance, so you can thwart that. Emergency situations, you can send a picture, you can do so many other things. I mean, seriously, we're talking about a cell phone for 8-year-olds, and many of these people are having this discussion. The minute that microchip implants become possible for the vast majority of their children, they're the first ones that are going to run in there and do it.
Yeah, because then they can keep wraps on their kids all with the cell phone.
But until that point, what do you have? Cell phone, call me in case of an emergency. I mean, seriously.
I see your point, but still, we can't give them the cell phones too early. So a toddler should not have a cell phone. So, as Jamie said, we can work with the 8-year-olds having a cell phone, but only for calling me if there is trouble. It should...
No, because a cell phone, and this is what I said before, a cell phone is not just for calling anymore.
But the kids are going to use it otherwise. Jamie,
and should they not? Isn't that what we're training them to do?
Not even, I don't mean for school. They're going to use it otherwise. They're going to have it under the desk to be bad kids.
We're training them to be responsible. And we, as the adults in the situation, need to set parameters and need to ensure that, you know, they're observed. But I see no reason to deny the child access to a device. What is it? Help me out here. I must be missing something.
In our time of going to school, we had to work to get rewards. These kids are just handed a tablet, not one that you drink,
but it's a tablet,
and a cell phone, and just be like, here, this is for you. Contact me should this happen. Or you did, this is your Christmas gift. You didn't have to do anything. I had to pass all my common entrance to get a bike. I had to come first to get me a nice ring. I had to work for everything that I had. These kids are getting it too easy. That's why they don't understand.
And we got it easy because some of our parents had to go tie goats out to pasture. We don't have to do that. I mean, when we talk about these things, it's like, you know, oh, it's so different from when we were. Really? It has to be. That's the way the world is developing.
But Jimmy, who said I didn't have to go tie goats out? No, I didn't.
It's just what it is.
I had to get up and do chores, though.
You know what I think? I think we're trying to put a stop on development.
We're not. We're not.
We're
just saying it's too early for them to have such because it can lead to certain things we're trying to prevent.
I think that we are trying to put a stop on development to some degree because we are not at all comfortable with what that represents. And rightly so if you don't know. Because a lot of these kids are more savvy than the parents that should be savvy. I mean, if you're having a child today, you really ought to know certain things. Unfortunately, you don't. And you don't know everything either. But should that be a reason, I mean, your own ignorance of certain things, should that be a reason for you to deprive your child of something that could benefit him or her in a good way? It's not just about calling anymore. It's about access to information. It's about all these other things that you could expose your child to for learning, for security reasons. I don't see the point in having a discussion in 2023 that speaks to an 8-year-old is too young to have a cell phone. How is it going to be used? Why is it being given to him or her? Those are the questions that need to be answered. It's not about the device. It's about the context in which the device will be used.
Okay, fair enough. I get your argument. But I still think, as they said, well, give it to them, but I guess we'll have to control the time they use it and when they use it. But I'm still afraid that they're not going to listen because we were kids once. We didn't listen to everything. But hey, if it benefits them, as Jamie say, he has proven his point. So maybe they can have it. Maybe we don't have to be that stringent. I didn't get a cell phone until I was 22.
Yeah, you bought it. There's a difference.
It was given to me, actually, and I was refusing a cell phone forever. Like, I was the last in my family to get a cell phone, y'all. I was anti-technology.
Yeah, well, these kids are not, and they ought not to be, because they're the ones that are going to cure cancer. Why not give them a cell phone now? Seriously.
Alrighty.
All right, we'll be back in a moment with more GMS SKN. Stay tuned.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Yo, what up? It's your boy and Richie right here at Studio 327. I'm here to give you the promo that you guys need because this is something special for St. Kitts. I'm telling you, tune in to Good Morning SKN, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and on Moen Channel 4. Also, I realize nobody else is doing this. Follow the Good Morning SKN Instagram at Good Morning SKN and the Studio 327 Inc. Instagram. Follow us on YouTube and Facebook. This is pretty long, but follow us and yeah.
SKN, this is lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
Yo, this is your boy Smiley of the Grandmasters Band, and you're watching GMSKN. Hey, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, just make sure you're watching GMSKN. What up?
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. It is time to let you know what is happening. So tomorrow is the Tuesday special at the Caribbean Cinema. This means that all patrons get to enjoy all the movies that are showing for a discounted price. Here's a list of the movies that are showing now in case you are interested. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, so that's in 2D and 3D. Shazada, Plane, Puss in Boots, Magic Mike's Last Dance, and Knock at the Cabin. Knock at the Cabin gives me scary. So go out with your friends and family and catch a movie for a reduced price.
The day when Caribbean Cinemas says once you're in, you can hop around. Yeah, that's my discount. That'd be great, right? It's like you just stay there forever.
Oh, and pop movies.
They're not going to say that.
Okay.
Like literally go from room to room. Yeah, that kind of works too. All right, so here's what else is happening. Lake Health and Wellbeing will be hosting another set of workshops as part of its Empower Her project. This series of workshops is entitled Entrepreneurship 101, Business Idea to Implementation. There will be 2 workshops, both of which will be facilitated by the renowned female entrepreneurship expert and founder of Coaching by Tamu, Dr. Tamu Brown. During the Entrepreneurship 101 Business Idea to Implementation workshops, women living with chronic illnesses or non-communicable diseases will receive the skills needed to thrive professionally and financially, as well as the ability to transform business ideas into successful, lasting business ventures. The first Entrepreneurship 101 Business Idea to Implementation workshop will take place on Wednesday, March 1st, and the second will take place on Tuesday, March 21st. Both workshops will run from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and will be held at the National ICT Center located at the Southwell Industrial Park on the Bay Road in Pasteur, here in St. Kitts. Interested in attending? If you are, you can contact Lake Health and Wellbeing via email at events@lakehealthandwellbeing.com or by telephone at 765-8702, or to register, you can contact them there. All right, yeah. Obviously. The workshops are entirely free to attend.
Yep, and the Pentecostal Church of God proudly presents its power-packed special services. Bishop Herrero Blake Jr. of Jamaica will present during this 4-day-long worship session. The dates are as follows. Thursday, the 23rd February, services start at 7:30 p.m. Friday, the 24th February at 7:30 p.m. Saturday, the 25th of February at 5 p.m. and Sunday the 26th February at 9 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. So go out for an experience you don't want to miss. Visit the Pentecostal Church of God at Boone Avenue in Basseterre from Thursday the 23rd February to Sunday the 26th February.
Alrighty. Wow. This is where we are getting ready to leave you guys today, but we do want to thank you for joining us for another edition. Of course, we have to say special welcome again to those of you who have joined us on TVC via Tel TV Network in St. Martin. thank you for joining us for the very first edition of Good Morning SKN, coming to you live in St. Martin. All right, so tune in daily where you'll find a little bit of everything for everyone. And if you like what you see, tell your friends and family members, even your enemies, as I like to say, to watch. Although with the enemies parts, if they know you're watching, you don't have to tell them, they'll just watch anyway. All right, that's what we're hoping for. Remember to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube at Studio 327 Inc. and on Instagram at Good Morning SKN. You have no excuses, because Good Morning SKN is the name of the show. Instagram, that's easy to find. Good Morning SKN, that's the handle. And guess what? We are Studio 327, so you know that handle as well, Studio 327 Inc. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share, and also check out our website. Wow, this is going to be so difficult to remember, right? Here it is, studio327inc.com. That's www.studio327inc.com. Really difficult, isn't it?
Really easy.
Yeah, you go there and you learn more about Good Morning SKN and Studio 327.
And as Jamie said, remember to subscribe. You have to subscribe. You have to be in it to know what's going on. If you don't, then you won't. So leave us a comment and let us know what was your favorite part of today's show. And once again, for those of you who are watching us in St. Martin, a hearty thank you. And this is where we say, see you tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at a Good Morning SKN. As we say in parting, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Remember to spread some love and have a great Monday. Bye.